Hi everyone! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to talk to you guys about the INFJ stare. I've done a video on this in the past, a long time ago actually, 3-4 years ago. So it's been a while since I've spoken about it, but I've kind of gained some new learnings about the stare, and I thought that I'd rejuvenate this topic by talking about it again. So you probably know this if you are an INFJ already, or if you know an INFJ, that they have these intense stares where a lot of people will not be able to hold our stare because it can be pretty intense for them. I actually think of it as a thing where, sometimes you're staring at a baby, you're looking into a baby's eyes, and there's just so much innocence and purity and wisdom in those eyes. I mean, they've just been born, they just came down to earth for whatever business they are here for. And you look into their eyes sometimes, and if you are the kind of person who has a lot of shame within them, or a lot of anxiety, or the kind of person who does not love themselves, it can be very difficult for you to look into someone else's eyes, especially a baby's eyes, because the baby can just look directly at you without blinking, without looking away, and they look directly into your eyes, and they just have the stare that completely sees you as you are, completely as you are, without putting any masks on you, without putting any facades, right? I remember when I was younger, because I hated myself so much, because I had so much shame associated with my body, with myself, I had very little self-love for myself, or very little self-love in general, and I had so many issues with myself. Sometimes I even disgusted myself. And so when someone would look at me directly in the eye, I would have to look away, because I myself was afraid that someone would see me truly as I am and realize how disgusting I was. Now, as my self-love grew, I realized that I could look into people's eyes without blinking or without looking away, because I wasn't ashamed anymore of myself. I wasn't afraid of them seeing me as I truly am. I wasn't afraid that they would look into my eyes and see something that they would dislike. And if they did dislike it, I was like, all right, cool, that's fine with me. And if they liked it, great. I love it too. I love all aspects of myself, or as much as possible, I do. Right, and so in that way, I think that's what INFJs do for other people. The fact of the matter is that most people on this planet are in severe self-hate mode, right? They don't like themselves. They cannot stand to be around themselves. They usually, play a lot of music, or they'll watch Netflix, or they'll always have noise around them because they just cannot stand to be by themselves with their thoughts. They disgust themselves. They cannot stand themselves, basically, right? A lot of people like that. I know a lot of people like that. I was one of those people, and I know a lot of people like that right now as well, where they're constantly moving, constantly in motion, constantly doing something because they want to distract themselves from themselves, from their own thoughts, from their own disgustingness to themselves, right? And for these kind of people, because there's so many of them right now, like on this planet, they cannot look at you in the eye because they're afraid that if you look them in the eye, and they look at you in the eye, they're afraid that you will see their disgustingness, you will see their self-hatred, you will see their lack of self-love, you will see them as they are, and they're absolutely terrified of being seen without their masks. They're absolutely terrified of being seen as they truly are, because they hate their true self. They don't like it for some reason. I don't know why. Every person has a different reason, right? And so as an INFJ, we know that about people. We know that the eyes are the souls, or the doors to the soul. Basically, it's been said over and over again. It's overhashed, overused, this for a phrase, but it is the truth. The eyes are the windows to your soul. If you look into someone's eyes for long enough, you can pretty much look into who they truly are. And as I said, a lot of people unfortunately hate themselves. They don't like what their soul looks like. They don't like what they look like on the inside. They don't want to know what's going on the inside. That's why they distract themselves with so much stuff. They numb themselves with so many different things because they don't want to know. They don't want to know their true self. They're afraid of it, right? As an INFJ, when we are staring into someone's eyes, when I stare into someone else's eyes or they stare into mine and we kind of lock eyes, we're basically, as I said, we're peering into their soul, right? Because we have very intense gazes. We have very big eyes usually and very intense gazes. And there's a lot of power in them. And because we're empaths, we're able to really empathize with the person. We're able to connect with them on a deeper level. We're also sensitive, so we're able to connect with them again on that deeper emotional level. And so as soon as we lock eyes with someone, a lot of people will look away from us. They will not be able to hold contact or stay in that locked gaze for a long time, for even a second perhaps sometimes, because they don't want you seeing their deeper inner self. They're afraid of what you might see. Now, in my opinion, everyone's deeper inner self is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's great. It's their deeper inner self. It's unique. It's unique to them, whatever it might be. People think that they have all of this gross stuff inside of them, the slimy, gross, shadowy things, figures, and slimy things that are terrible. But mostly, in most cases, in most human beings, I would say all human beings, it's not like that. We think it's like that because we've been told that we're very disgusting, or we've been told by our parents that we're not good enough, or we've been told by society that we're ugly or fat or whatever it might be, and we think that this is what the inside of us looks like as well. But it's actually not true, obviously, right? A baby, I mean, I know there was a Seinfeld episode when there was a very ugly baby, and they would look at him in horror, and they would just gasp whenever they saw the baby. But in general, all babies are just beautiful. They're beautiful, pristine, innocent, pure creatures, right? There's never a baby that you look at, unless you're in a Seinfeld episode, that you look at and you're like, oh my God, this baby's terribly ugly or something like that. You know, you mostly all, I can't imagine, I've never seen an ugly baby myself. Every baby has that pristine beauty within them, that gorgeous, that's purity, that gorgeousness, that beauty that kind of emanates from the inside out. And I think every person is like that too. They might have it very, very deep inside, that beauty, that purity, that gorgeousness, but it's there. And most of us, because we're so afraid that we covered ourselves up with so many terrible, ugly layers, that we're afraid that that's who we are. But those ugly layers that we have covered ourselves up with, it's fake, it's false, it's a mask, it's something that's not real. It's like when they found a Buddha statue in Thailand once, and it was like a clay statue of the Buddha. And, you know, there was a little bit of a crack on it, and this person started noticing that through the crack he noticed a little bit of gold, something kind of shiny. So he started peeling away the clay. He kind of started like hammering away at it and removing the clay. And underneath they found a solid gold Buddha statue. And of course, probably what happened was that, you know, the priests or the monks had probably covered the Buddha statue up with the clay because they were afraid that it would be stolen away, right? I think all of us are like this. We are all covered up with all this grimy, clayey stuff, this disgusting, slimy stuff, because we put on masks, because we're told that our real selves are not good enough. Our real selves are not beautiful enough, are not good enough for the people around us. So we're like, no, that's not good. You shouldn't be like that. Put on a mask. So we put on a mask, and we put on another mask, and we put on masks, more and more masks as we get older and older, so that the baby that we were, that pristine, beautiful, pure baby that we were, without any masks, we have 100,000 masks on top, right? Made of clay, made of stone, made of whatever it might be, right? Just grimy shit. And so we have all these masks, but we have that gold inside of us. It's still there, right? And so when you look into someone's eyes, as an INFJ you stare into someone's eyes, I really feel like I'm looking for that gold. I'm looking for what is underneath all of that grimy stuff, because it's there, and I know it's there, and I can see it in some people right away, but some people it takes a little bit longer to see it. But it's there, and I know it. It's there, it's beautiful, it's pristine, it's beautiful and pure, and I want to see that deeper inner gold within each person, that beauty, that pristine beauty. So I think that's why we stare at people. You know, we're not doing it because we want to be rude. We're not doing it because we want to stare you down or intimidate you. Sometimes we do that, but mostly not like that. Mostly we're looking for that deeper inner self of you. We're kind of trying to see that gold within you that has been hidden by all of those clayey, masky things, right? That grimy, slimy stuff. And so when an INFJ is staring at you, again, remember that that's what they're trying to do. We're not trying to be rude to you. We're not trying to put you down. We're not doing anything. We're not looking for a fight, all right? We're just trying to look at you in a deeper manner, because we know it's there within you, and we just really want to see it, because we're just so excited to see that beautiful, deeper, gold self of yours, that beautiful, pristine self of yours, because we just want to connect with you on a deeper level. And that's why INFJs stare. I really think That's why we stare, okay? Now, this is my thing. This is what I think. Of course, you guys might have a different reason. I'd love to hear from you guys, what you guys think, why we stare. And if you are a non-INFJ listening and you're like, why do these people stare? Well, this is basically the reason. Now, sometimes we do stare at bullies. We stare down at bullies because we want to intimidate them because they're bullying someone and we're like, what are you doing? Why are you being such a horrible person, right? But mostly, as I said, we're trying to look at your inner deep self and we're really trying to connect with you on a deeper level. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you understood it. If you have any questions, please comment below and I shall do a follow-up video. Again, thank you so much for listening and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.